In the beginning, I think they asked us to raise $385,000.
Right.
But with the ongoing process, as costs do increase,
sure,
the final cost worked out about $640,000. So the extra money was used to put in the fans and the extra lighting. And hopefully the revenue gained from the Walk of History is continuing to help pay the light bill.
Absolutely.
And the rental, I might add, of course, is very reasonable.
It is.
I think nonprofits and some charity organizations may get an excellent break on utilizing the facility.
Right.
I think there is a limitation on the facility being rented for not more than 2 or 3 days at a time, or weekend. But the general public can rent the depot for $15 an hour.
Incredible, yeah, for city residents.
Corporate people, I believe, is $20.
It's something very reasonable in the $20 range,
and,
right?
So it is a very popular. I think the schedule is fairly well booked up.
It is,
on weekends.
Richard Kirby spoke about that they are having gangbuster interest, which is wonderful. And it's truly a testament to so much of those efforts. That's a powerful story, Jack. You jumping the curb to do what you would hoped that somebody would do for the Ocean Forest Hotel way back then when you were standing out there with your camera preparing to snap some shots, praying that you wouldn't have to snap any except somebody stopping the demolition there, fortunately.
Well, you know, again, it just shows, and I like to tell a lot of young people, it shows that one person can make a difference by the actions they take.
Right.
And of course, there are always consequences to the actions we take, but more than not, the consequences of standing up and taking an action lead to a good outcome.
Right, absolutely. We'll give viewers a little sense. It's difficult to zoom right in there on the before and after, but surely you've got a good sense. The top picture of the before with that open area there, which has now been paved down in that bottom, the present shot there, but back in August of 2000, since it was March of 2000 when you stopped the bulldozer, and your office, of course, is close by as well, so it was absolutely opportune that you were driving on over to the post office. It was a perfect route.
I'm located on Broadway, just around the corner.
Right. Very close by. Very close by. You can get a good shot of some little closer in shot of the train depot there.
The morning that we took over the property, that was the depot. I would like to say that when we first came upon the property, we asked for volunteers. And I would like to say that city staff, Tom Leaf, members of council, all turned out on a Saturday morning with their work clothes and their gloves on.
Really? Great.
And went about pulling shrubbery and sweeping up and hauling trash away. So
Getting
the
stuff
city,
out of here.
They really pitched in and contributed a lot to cleaning up the depot.
This is a great example again. When you take a look at it before and after, this is such a tremendous before shot.
Yes.
And to think how beautiful it is now. It truly is. And there aren't many examples. You, of course, showed me as we were walking around earlier on the jacket of Mr. Bobo, I believe, who is the share with viewers a little bit about what they'll see if they come by to visit, if they call the city of Myrtle Beach, say, I want to come by and take a look at the train depot, or if they're coming here for a function, what are they going to see when they walk in the front door, Jack?
Well, the lobby, of course, is going to be a historical gallery.
Great.
It'll be a gallery of photographs, memorabilia. We even have a time capsule.
Oh, yeah.
That the All Board Committee has put down.
2054, yeah.
And to be opened in 50 years.
Right.
And a number of us have pledged to be here for the opening.
Good, yes.
Jim Bobo was the engineer on the train for 50 years.
Wow.
He drove the train from Chadbourn to Myrtle Beach, back and forth, twice a day for 50 years.
Wow.
His family has donated his engineer's jacket,
Right.
and it is showcased.
Looks wonderful out there.
In the lobby with a photograph of him.
Right.
And Mr. Nave, who was the manager of the depot for a long time, there's a photograph there in a beautiful case, along with one of the original engineers who actually was part of the building committee that actually built the old depot. We have a portrait of him on display.
Right, it is.
And it's just a wonderful trip down memory lane. I will mention that is a work in progress, the gallery.
The lobby area, the gallery, as you said.
And we will have another ribbon cutting in a couple of months when that gallery is complete to invite the public back in for a tour of that historical gallery.
Well, I remember, as you say, as the All Aboard Committee was going strong, raising the dollars, as you were pushing what originally was $350,000 and turned into $650,000. I mean, those goals increased substantially over that time. But I remember folks pushing the pavers, just making outright donations. People who'd be interested in preserving that history. And the All Aboard Committee, there's still information about them and the efforts there and what the City Council did to make it happen online at citymyrtlebeach.com. If they search for Train Depot or All Aboard Committee, they'd see that information. And some of the folks who worked with you arm in arm to help make that happen out there, of course, with you at the ribbon cutting, shoveling the dirt there to say, well, this is going to happen. We've worked hard to make it happen, and it's for everyone's future, not just a select few, but everyone. Look at the bricks out there. It's tremendous to see the names. It's a great compendium of lots of Myrtle Beach folks or people generally in companies and others generally interested in Myrtle Beach's future. It's gorgeous out there, Jack.
People have really rallied around the depot and in preserving the history, and are grateful that the history and the depot was saved.
Oh, yeah.
And so many things are disappearing seemingly on a daily basis. Buildings are disappearing, and people ride by a certain building for years and years, and all of a sudden there's a vacant lot, and then it comes to mind, by the way, what was there? How soon we forget.
Right.
But now in the lobby is a citation and an award from the South Carolina Department of Archives and History.
Is that right? Yeah.
That designated that this project was the best of the state.
Is that right?
Historical restoration.
I didn't notice that walking
best
through.
Of the state.
So focused on that jacket hanging up in there and the great bench over there that I think you said, but best in the state.
Best in the state for historical renovation.
Tremendous.
And, we were honored by the Horry County Architectural Review Board with a citation.
Saw something from Joel Carter in there. Yes,
that's right, and the Horry County Council, a resolution from the Horry County Council. So the little depot has earned its stripes.
We just got a couple of minutes, Jack, and for you, who are so interested directly and indirectly chronicling the area. I mean, had you ever imagined 50 years ago when you were at Skips or even earlier, I mean, had you ever imagined that you'd be here sitting in the train depot or even having such a successful photography business and your fingers in so many things in the Myrtle Beach area, as well as having kicked off the Myrtle Beach Herald back in '94 with Debbie back then when she kicked off the paper. Thank you for wearing your Herald shirt today, even covered by this blue jacket and that handsome pen. Yes.
There.
Thank you again, and of course for doing so many amazing photography pieces in the Herald over the years and teaching all of the aspiring photographers so much. Did you ever imagine?
Well, no, I would have never imagined. I had dreams of being a National Geographic photographer.
Right.
And sending pictures back from Mount Everest and the Brazilian jungle and going down the Amazon and so forth and so forth. I still dream of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Having not been there yet, but no, I did not imagine that. And people do comment, Jack, my goodness, you got pictures back through the years, you got pictures of everything. You must be a genius. I finally realized, and I say, you know, when I was out shooting all those pictures, I was looking over my shoulder because I thought everybody was doing it.
Right, right.
And now it turns out that it seems like I was the only one doing it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people out taking pictures, but those pictures obviously have wound up in shoeboxes
Sure.
and scrapbooks.
Sure.
And I'm just so proud. I feel like I'm 6 feet tall.
Or 6'5", that's right. You've got that mini museum next door right there in your facility, Jack. You've got a beautiful, here on Broadway, if a viewer wanted to come by and see you, they could essentially kill two birds. Coming in from the PD, they come by to visit the train depot, but right here on Broadway, your address on Broadway.
915 Broadway,
okay.
Between 9th and 10th Avenue. And on Kings Highway at 9th Avenue is a wonderful Methodist church, the big red brick church. But if you come around behind the church on Broadway, you're right at my studio.
Jack Thompson Studios, absolutely. Close to Herald Office Supply.
Next to Herald Office
Right next
Supply.
to the Herald twice over. I love it. Jack, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Entirely my pleasure.
No, not at all. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Jack Thompson coming up next. You got to come down here. You got to visit the Myrtle Beach Train Depot. You'd get in here and see some of these old postcard shots of the Atlantic Coastline Depot, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But the great verbiage on there is 45 minutes from Conway. Think about modern transportation, how it's changed things so dramatically. You can get on 22 coming in from Conway and be here in 15 minutes. Think about how things have changed. But life hasn't entirely changed. There was still a desire to preserve the train depot, to remember old. Jack's got great stories. You're going to have to give him a call, 626-3194, 626-3194. Ask him about the barbell story. He's got a great barbell story when he was a bodybuilder picking up some barbells here at the train depot, or we'll have to get him on another time to share that. Think about changes over the years, but also think back to 2000. When Jack made that effort to stop the bulldozer, was given 24 hours, stepped in there to City Council, and then our leaders of this city, the city of Myrtle Beach, back in 2000, making a commitment to buy this land, and then to turn to folks like Jack and so many other community servants to make a difference, to raise the funds to preserve this place. Give the city of Myrtle Beach a call, or give Jack a call. Go online to citymyrtlebeach.com. Check out the train depot. You can rent it. You can get out here. You can have tremendous functions for you and your family or your business or other nonprofit organization. Learn more about the Myrtle Beach Train Depot.